So I guess we can talk about Howard Stern for a second and how he feels about us as Trump supporters. This is off of Sky News. Let's do this. Let's turn it up. You can turn it up? We'll turn it up. Here we go. Howard Stern.
I hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
Now,
Short compared to the last thing I played of Howard Stern during COVID. A visual video back when I was trying that. I actually posted on YouTube, and the post was about him saying that if you don't want to be vaccinated, that you should not be allowed health care. You should be forced, and this is a quote, by the way, YouTube, you should be forced to die. That's a direct quote from Howard Stern. So, and I posted that video on YouTube and gave my opinions. YouTube did not like all of those opinions, and they removed the video for vaccine misinformation, which, if I remember correctly, didn't really do much of that. I'm definitely guilty of what they consider medical misinformation because I have opinions that differ from the status quo of healthcare. Opinions that stem from research that I've done, creating my own opinion instead of being a sheep, and also knowing some people that work in healthcare. Some doctors, my wife is a pharmacist. My wife had to administrate. God, here we go again.
What?
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm gonna come.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock. It's the last time I'm gonna ask you.
Let me try that again. She had to administer these vaccines to people, and she didn't even believe in them. And this was something that was happening a lot. I'm going to be careful not to get into that because, Jesus, why deal with it with YouTube? You know what I mean? It's always something. And I'm 2 strikes in on YouTube for fucking, I don't know what, copyright or, misinformation probably. But I posted that. They removed it. Here we are now. Another brilliant take from Howard Stern. The king of radio. Once upon a time. I think he might be the biggest drop-off in talk radio. I mean, you're talking about the GOAT. The best to ever do it in some people's heads. A lot of people's heads. Great argument to be made for that. King of shock jocks, man. He had a long career of being amazing. And then one day, something switched in his brain. Trump got into office, and he just slowly became everything that he talked shit about for decades. Which to me is... Now look, do I know what it's like to end up making the type of money that Howard Stern makes? No. No idea. Nor do I care. But I would like to think that my values, if I were to become that rich, would not change that much. I'm still me. I just make a lot of money. And I don't think Howard Stern has people telling him what to talk about. That's who he is. And he's entitled to believe what he wants, but let's hear that again.
I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
now to one of the
He hates the people. So he doesn't hate. He says, I don't hate the guy, talking about Donald Trump. I just hate the people that vote for you. Well, here's my question. If you don't hate the guy, then why do you hate the people that vote for him? Because you're supposed to? Why do you hate him? Why do you hate me because I vote for Donald Trump? I can make a compelling argument why I vote for Donald Trump. Can you make a compelling argument, Howard Stern, to why you're going to vote for Biden or Kamala Harris? Other than the average lefty line of nonsense with no substance? No. You have no respect for me. That's fine. I don't have respect for you. You said that people who don't want to get vaccinated with an experimental drug that now has studies coming out all around the world connecting it to heart problems. I'm going to stop. But you said people that didn't want to do that should die. And I'm not being a pussy here. That's fine. Say what you want to say. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. Don't go all woke, holier than thou, and then want to be edgy randomly with something like that. Fuck off. Just be woke. You want me to die because I don't want a vaccine? But you go fuck yourself. Do a good show. I challenge you. I would never compare myself to a Howard Stern. Let's be fucking real here. But the values of your program, where did they go? Where did this new list of morals and values come from for Howard Stern? You meet and become friends with enough celebrities, and now you can just become whoever the fuck you want to be. He's a loser. I'm going to put this on YouTube and see how many of you guys who post comments shitting all over Joe Rogan, I'm just curious what you guys have to say about Howard Stern. By the way, another great potential podcast that Rogan would never do is Howard Stern. What a fucking heated mess that would be. They hate each other. I want to see a podcast with Rogan, Mark Maron, and Howard Stern. Let's just get it done, boys. Again, back to what he said. I don't understand the sentiment there. Like, I don't hate the guy. So you don't hate Donald Trump? You can't, see, now you're backtracking because we know about all your interviews with him. A lot of people heard it live. You loved him. There's so many people out there, celebrities who worshipped loved Donald Trump. Until now. Until what? He runs for president? Like, I don't understand what changes there. Did Donald Trump change? No. Still Trump. But now that's the thing you hate. Or not. I don't hate him. I don't hate the guy. I just hate the people that vote for him. Well, what's wrong with voting for him if you don't hate him? You're a fraud. You're a fucking fraud who's gone full woke. And yes, woke is not a good thing. Let me be very fucking clear. Let me go ahead and cut my audience in half. Proudly. Being woke is not a good thing anymore. I remember before the age of Trump and all of this crazy shit, the old days, I remember what woke meant then. Anybody else remember that? Being woke was like associated with, by the way, it didn't get used. That word did not get thrown around like it does now. But being woke back then was like being aware of, honestly, being woke was what conservatives are now in a weird way. It was being aware of the zeitgeist. Being aware, listening to too much Tool and talking about the Fibonacci sequence and the purity of life and how it's born, how it grows, the equations behind it, all this crazy shit. Woke was that kind of stuff. Woke was waking up to the government hypocrisy that we've been living under for a long time. That was woke. It's not woke now. See, to me, that train of thought is a good thing. Be awake. Be aware of what the fuck is going on. Don't just be a sheep. Watch the news. No. Be a person with a brain. Your own train of thought. That's woke. But of course, like everything else, radical left-wing shit has taken the word woke and twisted it into what it is now, which is forced equality And I know equality is a good thing, but organically, it's a good thing. Organically. And it happens organically when we let it. But forcing it does not help anyone because it isn't equality. We're past equality. It is now a turning the tables on power, influence. It's not, and it's not that a bunch of grumpy white people don't want black people or indigenous people or Latino people. Anybody, pick your fucking group. It's not that we don't want those people to have strong voices, but it needs to happen organically. If you're a colored person and you want to have a voice, okay, I ask you, a voice for what? For what? What's your thing? What is it? Because I don't see any oppressed voices except for white voices now. I'll say it. I don't care. You know I'm not wrong. It's trendy. It's okay to hate white voices and to make fun of white people because we're so inherently racist, inherently bad. We caused centuries of heartache, struggle, right? Isn't that the line? I didn't do any of that shit. No one I knows did any of that shit, and nobody that I know believes that we should be doing any of that shit. But we can't change history. But we also should not be compensating for history. Just learning from it. Again, organically. We're black, white, right? It doesn't matter. We all understand that the way history has gone was not always pretty. It was adaptive. Survival of the fittest. But see, we live in a society now where we don't have to live like that. Because it's a society. There's a social fabric that people choose to ignore now. We have to, dude, again, organically, the word woke is just a mess. And that's what Howard Stern has become. I'm trying to avoid ranting, which is not going well. It just, he's a nuisance.